same birthday. I'm 16th of May also.
Are you serious?
Are you kidding me?
I just figured out this morning. We are on the birthday, same day.
It's the day of Osiris. You know
Yes.
this is Osir. It's the constellation of Osiris
Yes.
right now.
I'm
Wow,
16th
my
of
friend.
May. Yes.
That's why I like you so much. That makes sense. I can't even believe that.
Yes, I born in 16 May.
16th of May. It's
Yes.
the 137th day.
Yes.
Wow, epic. Holy cow, that's definitely more than a synchronicity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, what time were you all born? Now, that
What time are you born?
I think it's 11 a.m.
twice.
11 a.m. I'm 6 p.m. in Texas.
Thanks to God.
Yes. And how old are you now?
I'm 50.
You're 50, so I'm
Yes.
6 years older than you.
Yeah, I'm 50.
Holy shit. Wichita Falls. Wichita Falls, yeah. Texas is big, for sure. All right.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and start. So, we good? Okay. Well, we have a unique pleasure here. I have with me, standing to my right, a friend of mine that I just learned. We share the exact same birthday on May 16th, which is, now I knew I liked him because, like, Taurus is easy to understand. When Taurus, we have like this basic groundedness, right?
Yeah.
And also strong leadership.
Yeah.
So this is a great leader. He has been leading the efforts here at Giza Plateau for the last 30 years.
Yes.
And he says he doesn't even know the word vacation.
No, never.
Never had a vacation.
Never.
Which is like, I'm going to try to change that at some point with him and get him to go on vacation, maybe with me, because I need one too. I need a vacation from my vacations. So, Ashraf Mohie, Dr. Ashraf, as he's known here. If you say to anybody, like if you say, Dr. Ashraf Mohie, they don't know, but if you say, Dr. Ashraf, then they go, oh, okay, Dr. Ashraf. He's the boss of all of what's called the Memphite necropolis. So that includes everything in what we call Lower Egypt, right? So Lower Egypt is essentially, when we think of it, at least from this context here, it's everything from Dashur all the way up to Alexandria, right? Which is on the port, right? On the Mediterranean. So he is an Egyptologist, and he just hosted Mr. Beast.
Yes.
Right, all
Jimmy.
through the pyramid and all through the shaft of
Yes.
Osiris and everything, which
Yes.
I've done all of those same things.
And he did ask me a silly questions, who were the builders of the pyramids? He said aliens built the pyramids. I told him we have in all of Egypt 124 pyramids. So each time I am calling aliens come to build the pyramid for me, cannot be like this. But in 1990 we had a great discovery. Let me start.
Yes, please.
You know, so we had a great discovery. American tourist was riding a horse in the desert and the leg of the horse fell down in the hole. So what we did excavations. We found the workers' tombs, the builders of the pyramid tombs. Sorry. I don't like, you know, so it's much better for me.
Perfect.
Okay, so we did excavations, we moved the sands, we found the workers' tombs, the builders of the pyramid tombs. How we could know? Those tombs for the builders, we found the first tomb, it was for the chief of the workers, who is married 2 wives and he got 18 kids. Busy guy. So, we did excavations between the workers' tombs. We found a tomb for a doctor. 4,600 years. We had a tomb for a doctor, yes. And guess what? This doctor, he did a brain surgery. Oh my gosh, how you could know? It was a brain surgery. We found the skull of the worker, and there's a hole in the skull. And the son of the workers completed his father's tomb, and he mentioned that his father lived after the surgery 3 years. I'm always saying in my lectures, if you can build a pyramid, you can do anything, even a brain surgery. Even a brain surgery. We did excavations between the workers' tombs. We found a tomb for a guy, his name Neferses. This guy who is married 2 wives and he got a girlfriend. 2 wives plus a girlfriend, how we could know? We found in his tomb 4 false doors. The first false door, it was for the guy himself. The second false door, it was for the first wife. The third false door for the second wife. The fourth false door, it was for the girlfriend. We found her name and her title. She was called Met-Ret. From Met-Ret, we had mistress. If you can build a pyramid,
You can do anything.
You can have a mistress. You can do
have a
anything.
mistress.
So we keep digging between the workers' tombs. We found a tomb for a guy, his name is Betty. The facade of his tomb, it was inscribed with what we called a curse inscriptions. There is some spells, written hieroglyphics. It says, if you are going to steal my tomb, the snake will bite you, the lion will eat you, the alligator will attack you. He believed by magic, those spells will come true and will be as a real guardians and protect and secure his tomb from robbers. And guess what? The tomb was robbed. It means the spells didn't work. So I have many movies on National Geographic, History Channel, Discovery Channel, Netflix. You know, recently I have 2 new movies. The first one, it's called The Lost Treasures of Egypt. It's about a great discovery. I'm always believe success, it's a teamwork. I am so proud that I have a group of Egyptologists and archaeologists and workers. We work together and we did great discoveries. Behind the 3rd pyramid of the king Menkaura, I'm seeing Menkaura. I'm not seeing Mycerinus. I'm seeing Ha-Ephra. I'm not seeing Chephren. I'm seeing Khufu or Khnum Khwafwi, not Cheops, because Cheops, Chephren, Mycerinus, those are Greek names. I do like Greek names. I like to call them by their ancient names. So behind the 3rd pyramid of the king Menkaura, we had the quarry, the place where we get the blocks to build the pyramid. So the quarry was completely covered with sands, about 7 meters high of sands, 21 feet. So I went to our minister office, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, asking him money for excavation. He said, Ashraf, are you going to clean 7 meters high of sands? Nothing will be there. It's a waste of time and money. I told him, I do believe there is something waiting for me beneath the sands. I always trust my feelings. So I spent more than 4 months to try to convince him to give me the money. At the end, I got from him 400,000 Egyptian pounds. And we start to dig in the site with 200 workers. And we're digging, moving the sands for more than 6 months for nothing. Everybody got disappointed. I told my workers, my assistant, don't give up. Keep digging, keep moving more sands, because I do believe there is something over there. One day, I finished the work in the site. I went back to my office nearby the Great Pyramid, to the west of the Great Pyramid, in the Western Cemetery. And guess what? A month ago, I did demolish my office and started excavations over there. And until today, we found 60 new tombs for the workers from the 5th dynasty. And beneath my old bathroom, we found painted limestone statue for architect and his son and his wife. And the statue is going to be displayed in the new Grand Museum. One of my babies will be displayed in the new Grand Museum, because each discovery, for me, it's like a new baby. By the way, I have a mommy as a girlfriend. You know, in 2009, I was working in Saqqara. In Saqqara, I started excavation there. In the surface of the ground, we found beautiful wooden coffin, and inside the coffin, we found a beautiful, beautiful mummy. Since this time, this mummy became my girlfriend. It was a smart choice. She's not asking for money, never took too much, always listening to me. And the mummy is going to be displayed in the new Grand Museum. So my girlfriend and my babies will be displayed in the new Grand Museum. So the whole family will be in the new Grand Museum. So we start to excavations beneath my old office, and we are expecting more finds, more discoveries, more new tombs. We found, plus the 60 new tombs, 100 shafts, plus burial chambers. And inside the burial chambers, we found skeletons. So it's a great discovery. And we keep working over there. So the chief of the workers, he came to my office, which was my office, and told me, doctor, we found something in the site behind the 3rd pyramid. You have to come back again. I got my pickup truck. I went back to the site. I looked in the ground. Oh my gosh, it's a hole. There's something coming up. I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands, we found an entrance. We moved more sands, we found a passage. We moved more sands, we found an offering chamber. And inside the offering chamber, we found 2 false doors. One of the doors was inscribed in hieroglyphics. I can read and translate in hieroglyphics. This is my job. We found the name of the owner of the tomb. She was a lady. Her name is Shep-Sis-Kawu. She was the high priestess of the goddess Hathor. The second false door wasn't inscribed, but I guessed maybe it was for the husband. But because the lady was more important than her husband, she got an inscribed false door, and her husband got nothing. Fair enough. As archaeologists, when we found false doors, either we dig in front of false doors or we dig behind the false doors to go down to the burial chamber. So we decided to dig behind the false door for the lady. We found a deep shaft. It's about 10 meters deep, almost 30 feet. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber was cut rock, and the door was sealed from outside. When we found a sealed door, it means it's intact. Robbers do not touch it. So I'm a big guy. I sent one of my assistants, a little guy. I told him, go down and have a look and tell me what there. So the guy, he went down, he moved 2 or 3 blocks, and he said, doctor, maybe there is something there. I said, what? I said, what? Put your head inside and tell me what there. So the guy, he moved more blocks, he went inside, and he said, you have to come down, there's something there. I got away the ladder, and I went down, I went inside the burial chamber. Guess what? We found a skeleton. Oh my gosh, a skeleton for who? So what we did, we used DNA to date back the skeleton. It dates back for 4,500 years. 4,500 years. That's it. I looked between the bones of the skeleton. We found a seal, a mud brick seal, inscribed by the name of the high priestess, Shep-Sis-Kawu. What a great discovery to find the skeleton for the high priestess and to find a mud brick seal by her name. Then we decided to dig behind the second false door for the poor husband. We found a shaft that's about 7 meters deep, almost 21 feet. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber. Was cut rock. The door was sealed from outside. It means it's intact. We did open the door. We went inside the burial chamber. We found another skeleton. We used DNA to date back the skeleton. It dates back for 4,500 years. It was the same time, but it was for male, not for female. This was ensuring my theory. It was a family tomb for the high priestess and her husband. This in a movie, it's called The Lost Treasures of Egypt by Ashraf Mohie El-Din and his team. That's it? No. For the second time. For the second time, I went to our minister's office asking him money for excavations. Yes, give me more money. I give you a discovery. I deserve another chance. But this time I was totally crazy because in the Western Cemetery, we have more than 6 missions, Americans, Italians, French, Japanese. They were moving their sands and debris from one site, put it above another site. I'm a smart archaeologist. I was thinking maybe they kept something for me beneath the sands and the debris. The problem was it was about 20 meters high of sands, 60 feet. So I spent more than 6 months trying to convince the minister to give me money for excavations. After 6 months, I got from him 600,000 Egyptian pounds. And we started to do excavations with 400 workers. We were cleaning the sands for more than 8 months for nothing. Everybody got disappointed. I told the workers, don't give up. Keep digging. Keep moving more sands. One day, I was working between my workers. I like to work with my hands. I was a blonde guy, now I'm black, because I work in the sun. So one day, I was working between my workers. We're moving the sands. We found a mud brick wall. Oh my gosh. I told them there's something coming up. Hurry up, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved all the sands. We found a mud brick tomb. It's about 6 by 6 meters square. As archaeologists, when we found a mud brick tomb, it means it's a poor burial. Nothing much will be there. So I told my assistants, don't judge until we go inside to see what will be inside the tomb. So we cleaned all the sands. We found the entrance of the tomb. We opened the door. We found a passage. And guess what? The passage was covered with sands. We cleaned the sands. We found the walls of the passage were painted with the beautiful scenes and the beautiful colors. One of the scenes, it's my favorite. It's for a farmer. He's picking the fruits from a tree, and he put the fruits in a basket. One of the monkeys sneaking, who is stealing the basket of the fruits. So I created a new term. I called it, it's a photo from Book of Life. We have a book of heaven, book of gates, book of another world, but we didn't have the term called Book of Life. Because it's well known that the monkey always is seeing the fruits. So it's like a photo. You got it from where? From life. So when you hear the term of Book of Life, you have to remember me. Copyrights back to me. So we have this beautiful scene on the wall of the passage. We kept moving more sands. We found another beautiful scene. We found a scene for a cow is giving birth. And one of the farmers sitting between the legs of the cow receiving her baby. It's another scene from a book of life. That's it? No. We keep moving more sands. We found another beautiful scene for a lady sitting in front, offering table. And on the table, guess what? The baguette. So the French people, they get the baguette from us. We were, before the French people, 4,600 years, had the baguette before them. In 2018, I was guiding French First Lady, Brigitte Macron, in front of the Great Pyramid. And I told her, if you are so proud that you have in France wine dates back for a few hundred years, in Saqqara we found wine dates back for 4,700 years. If you are so proud that you have in France cheese dates back for a few hundred years, in Saqqara we found cheese dates back for 4,700 years. If you are so proud that you have a baguette in France dates back for a few hundred years, in Giza and Saqqara we found baguette dates back for 4,600 years. If you can build a pyramid, you can have wine, cheese, baguette before the French people. Yes. She was laughing. So we have this beautiful scene for this lady sitting in front offering a table, and on the table we got the baguette. No, the ancient Egyptian bread, because the baguette, it was a kind from our bread. We have more than 18 kinds of the bread in ancient time. So we keep moving more sands. We found another beautiful scene for a musician band. One of the guys is playing flute, another guy is playing harp, some girls are dancing. One of the dancers was a monkey. So we called it the monkey tomb because we found many scenes for the monkey. Yes. We keep moving more sands. We found another beautiful scene for a lady standing, and beneath her feet we found her name. She was called Hatebet. She was the high priestess of the goddess Hathor. It's another high priestess. And this beautiful scene, it's going to be moved and will be displayed in the new Grand Museum. Another baby of my babies will be displayed in the new Grand Museum. So this was the superstructure of the tomb. What about the substructure? We want to go to the burial chamber. So behind this beautiful scene, we found a shaft. It's about 60 meters deep. We went down, we found a burial chamber, was cut rock. Inside the chamber, we found sarcophagus from limestone, but was empty because the tomb was robbed. We didn't find the mummy. We didn't find any treasures. The tomb was robbed, but at least we found those beautiful scenes. This was a great discovery, like 2 years ago, for the high priestess of the goddess Hathor. For the third time, I went to our minister's office, asking him money for excavations, but this time I was insane, because to the right hand of the Sphinx, there was a big mountain. It's about 60 meters high, 180 feet. So the minister, he said, are you going to do excavation to clean this high mountain? I said, yes. You tried me twice. And I give you 2 discoveries. I deserve another or a third chance. So after 8 months, I did convince the minister, and I got from him 600,000 Egyptian pounds. And we start do excavations to clean the mountain from the top. You can guess for how long? 8 months? 2 months? 12? 4? 3? 2? What do you think? 3 months?
3 months.
3? A week. I was extremely lucky. Just a week of work, only 1 week of work. We start to clean the sands for a week. Guess what? We found unfinished cut rock tomb. A tomb was cut rock and it was unfinished and the door was sealed from outside. When we see a sealed door, it means it's intact. Nothing from robbers done to the tomb there. I was extremely happy. Just a week. We opened the door. We found the entrance. We found a burial chamber was cut rock, and inside the chamber we found 6 beautiful wooden coffins. We did open 5 coffins, and we found inside those coffins 5 mummies. I kept the 6th coffin away because I felt there is something special inside this coffin. And I was thinking every time I was going to beg the minister to give me money for excavations, what if we had National Geographic, television and magazine, to be as a sponsor, he can give us money for excavations, and we can open the coffin in a live show. So we spent like a month of negotiations between me and National Geographic. At the end, we had a contract for $60,000 American dollars to open this coffin in a live show. The question was, if there's nothing inside the coffin, what's gonna happen to me? I will be in a coffin.
Like Ozir.
Because the guys paid $60,000 to have a nice show. So I did something tricky, to be honest. I want to save the money for excavations. So before the show, I left the cover of the coffin to have a look if there's something there or not. We left the cover, we looked inside the coffin. Oh my gosh, it's a beautiful mummy, covered with sheets of gold. And there's a golden amulet. So I put the cover back. And I told the guys, hey, we are ready for our live show. So we invited the press, the media, the minister, everybody. So we got the best live show to open the coffin, and everybody liked it. So I asked it, National Geographic guys, are you happy with this discovery? They said yes, but still not enough for a big movie. We paid $60,000 American dollars. We need something more bigger than this. So I told them just a week of work. It's just the beginning of the season. Our season of excavations, it's about 8 months. So I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands for another month. Guess what? We found remains of limestone tomb. What I mean by remains, we found 2 false doors and some blocks and some walls inscribed with hieroglyphics. The 2 false doors, one of the doors, it was for an architect. His name is Behenwi. He was the architect who did restoration for the complex of the Pyramid of Khufu and the complex of the Pyramid of Khafra and the complex of the Pyramid of Menkaura. And his son, he got the same job. In the second false door, he did restoration for the complex of Khufu, Khafra, Menkaura, and the king Ni-Wisra from the 5th dynasty in Saqqara. It was a very important job to be an architect, to do restoration for those kings. So I was kneeling like this, try to read the hieroglyphics on the walls of the false doors. I felt there is something moving beneath my hand. It's a block. I move the block, it's another moving block. I moved the second block, it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th. There's many blocks are moving. We moved all the blocks. Guess what? We found a hidden chamber covered with sands. We cleaned all the sands. We found painted limestone statue for the architect and his son and his wife. But there is something broke my heart. The head was missing. So I told the workers, nobody is going back to his house until we'll find the head. We spent I'm a tough director, by the way, very tough. So we spent 5 hours looking in the sands. At the end of the day, we found the head. And we did restore the head back. And the statue is gonna be displayed in the new Grand Museum. So I asked National Geographic guys, are you happy with this discovery? They said yes, but still not enough. They're greedy for a big discovery. So I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands for another month. We found a shaft. It's about 4 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber, we found a wooden coffin. Inside the coffin, we found a mummy. I asked them, they said no. We keep digging more. We found a shaft. It's about 60 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber, we found 2 wooden coffins with 2 mummies. I asked them, they said no. We keep digging more. We found a 3rd shaft. It's about 8 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber, we found wooden coffins, 4 wooden coffins with 4 mummies. I asked them, they said no. We keep digging more. We found a shaft. It's about 10 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber, we found 5 wooden coffins with 5 mummies. I asked them, they said no. They pissed me off. So I get a meeting in the site, and I told the workers we have to move the work 200 meters to the south of the site. So we moved the work, and we start to dig. For another month, we found a deep shaft. It's about 15 meters deep, almost 45 feet. At the bottom, we found a huge burial chamber with scattered rock. It's about 7 by 7 meters square, full of sands. We cleaned the sands for another month. Guess what? The chamber was empty. But the back wall was broken, and the hole. So we cleaned the hole. We found another burial chamber with scattered rock, full of sands. We spent another month to clean all the sands. Guess what? Was empty. Nothing there. But the back wall was broken. So we cleaned the hole. We found a 3rd burial chamber, and the door was sealed from outside. Remember, when we found a sealed door, it means it's intact. Robbers do not rob it. So we opened the door. We found 2,000 of skeletons. 2,000 of skeletons. One of the skeletons, it's my favorite. It was for a child. It's about 6 years old. And this skeleton is going to be displayed in the new Grand Museum also. And beside the skeleton, we found a wooden mask. So I asked National Geographic guys, are you happy with this discovery? They said, yes, but it's not enough for a big movie. So I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands for another 2 months. We found a deep shaft. It's about 14 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a tunnel. It's about 100 meters covered with sands. We cleaned the tunnel. We found another tunnel. It's about 200 meters, was covered with sands. We cleaned all the sands. We found a 3rd, 4th. We found a maze, a labyrinth, more than 800 meters of tunnels. As archaeologists, when we found a maze, it means there is something should be at the end. You try to hide something at the end. So we found a huge burial chamber, and the door was sealed from outside. I was extremely happy because sealed door, it means there's something there. So we did open the door. We went inside. We cleaned all the sands. Nothing. It's empty. I was thinking, how come? If the door was sealed from outside, it should be something there. So I told the workers, everybody have to get a brush, plus me, and we have to clean the sands from the ground of the floor, ground of the chamber. So we cleaned all the sands. Guess what? Exactly in the middle of the chamber, we found a hidden shaft. It's about 6 meters deep. We cleaned the shaft. We found a hidden buried chamber, and the door was sealed from outside. We did open the door. We found something shining in the darkness, something gold shining there. I told the workers, hurry up, clean all the sands. We cleaned the sands. We found a wooden coffin, and inside the coffin, we found a mummy covered with sheets of gold. And beside the coffin from outside, for the first time, before the king Tut, before the king Tutankhamun, we found remains of golden covers of the nails. Remains of golden covers of the nails. This was before the king Tut by 1,500 years. Wow. It was a great discovery. So I asked National Geographic guys, are you happy with this discovery? Guess what?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
And we had the movie, it's called The Lost Tomb of the Pyramids. Finally. You know.
Wow.
So, Khufu Pyramid.
I want to save a little time for questions also.
Go ahead, okay.
So, you know what? Actually, we can pull a chair for you. We can sit down for a moment.
Here.
So,
Sorry.
obviously, right now, there's a lot of news.
Okay.
Right? About what's happening. I'd like to ask first about the Scan Pyramid project.
Okay.
Because that's been going on for quite some time now.
Yes.
Any news on this?
Okay. Since 5 years ago, we have Egyptian, French, Canadian, Japanese mission working inside the pyramid, doing a scan to the pyramid with radars, cosmos rays, and the muons. And they found out for the first time a void, a space about 30 meters above the Grand Gallery. So when
Another Grand Gallery.
when I saw this for the first time, I told them I do believe this is another Grand Gallery. Because I do not believe the existed Grand Gallery and the King Chamber, it was the real King Chamber. It's false, it's a fake, but the real one still exists or still hidden somewhere inside the pyramid. So a year ago, we sent endoscope beneath the main entrance. We found a small hole, so we sent endoscope.
It was the day I was here. I remember. I was in the pyramid that night.
Yeah.
When they
So
did it.
we sent the endoscope. We found for the first time, a new tunnel. It's about 9 meters long, almost 2 meters high. So I told them, this new tunnel, it should lead to the void. So it's gonna be, and the tunnel leads for the Grand Gallery. And I told them, I do believe behind the void, it's gonna be a hidden chamber. So the head of the mission is my friend. He told me we found a hidden chamber behind the void. So I do believe this hidden chamber, it's gonna be the real burial chamber for the King Khufu. But the problem is how we can go inside there. He did ask me. I said, maybe you can make a small drill and we can send a drone to take photos and videos for the chamber from inside. So it means there's many secrets will be revealed, about Khufu pyramid. So I do believe the void is a Grand Gallery, it's another Grand Gallery,
Yes.
and the real burial chamber of the King Khufu is still hidden somewhere inside.
And in my show on Codex, I predicted, based on the Da Vinci drawing,
Yeah.
right, which is Vitruvian Man cut in 14 parts.
Okay, it's like Osiris.
Like Osiris, right? That at the throat line,
Yeah.
at the throat, the heart is where the king's chamber is. At the throat line, I said there would be another chamber there, which is just to the upper right of the king's chamber, right? Exactly in the place that Jean-Pierre Houdin wrote a paper later confirming that he believed it's another Grand Gallery, just as you said. I'm sure you saw this paper.
Yes.
That's your phone?
Sorry.
So it's been interesting for me because actually if you look at this corridor that you found, and I've never told you this, the corridor that you found with the endoscope is shaped like a pentagon, right? It's got a high roof. It's kind of like the Queen's Chamber, the way the corridor is shaped. It's shaped like this, then like this, right? And it's 9 meters long. This is the exact shape. If we looked at the throat cavity is exactly the shape of a pentagon, inverted. Right, so it's a diamond-shaped pentagon, and this is the corridor that's taking to the new Grand Gallery that I called it in my show, the Magnum Opus Gallery, the Great Work Gallery, that leads you to the new chamber that is a throne. I believe there's a throne inside that, and I mentioned that to you as well.
The difference between you and me, I'm a scientific guy. I work with evidence.
Yes.
I work with excavation. So what I found with my hands is what I believe.
Yes.
So there's,
Yeah, but you have to have one before the other. How do you know what to find if you don't want to look for it?
If you get the feeling.
That's right.
Yes, you have to trust your feelings, and if you have the feeling, you will do miracles.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's going to be great work. I met with the Scan Pyramids project team.
Yes.
I met with some of them also, and they asked me because they were looking at the walls as well.
Yeah.
And they wanted to use lasers to look to see if they can find the etchings on the walls, et cetera. And what's interesting about it is, and thank you also for reducing the amount of cleaning on the walls, which I think is really important. But actually, what are your thoughts also now on Khafre and the SAR?
Okay, so I asked Scan team guys, they are my friends, what do you believe about the discovery? First, because I am archaeologist.
Yeah.
So I don't know about geology or the things there. The head of the mission, he told me this is not proved yet and it's not confirmed. We have radars. The radars, he can get the depths for 100 meters maximum, not for 650. And this guy was using satellite images. That's it, to prove their theory. But they didn't came to the pyramids. They didn't do any work at the pyramids. So to be sure, we have to do a work with the scan guys to see if there's something there or not. If there's something, we're gonna announce this for the whole people, because any discovery, it will be good for us, good for the pyramids, because it will encourage to come more tourists to come to see the pyramids. It's really good for the tourism in Egypt there. We are not gonna hide any information about anybody. But if you have a theory, you have to convince me with your theory by your evidence, not just to write a paper or something. This paper was written in, I think, 2022. And there is no proof about it. From 22 until now, it's like 3 years now. He didn't came to see once at the pyramid.
They showed 22 other structures inside the Great Pyramid and kind of a ramp around the side.
Yes.
And it's interesting because the way that also they showed the void space was very different.
But the scan pyramid guys, they worked inside the Great Pyramid. They didn't see what this guy saw.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
They didn't confirm it. It means it wasn't true. Because if it was true,
it should be
clear for all the guys there. They didn't see it.
So there's big questions about it still, right? But I also showed him as well that from Leonardo da Vinci's Folio 134, where he shows Khafre Pyramid in the Codex Atlanticus, and he even says, avendo Egyptato, having been Egyptianized, and he gives the proportion also of Khafre Pyramid, the 3 for the base and the 4, because it's a 3-4-5 triangle. I showed him what was under it, because I was also shocked. I didn't believe the SAR data. But then I went to look at that scan and that picture and see if there was some sort of match. I was shocked. I was pretty shocked that it does have some sort of structure underneath. Do I believe there's something under the pyramid complex? Yes, I do. I also believe this because in Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, he has lines on the knees. And on the lines on the knees, that would tell us that there should be some other chambers deep beneath. I don't know if that's looking from the side. It could be Shaft of Osiris that talking about.
I give you an example. You know, some people start to talk about that beneath the Sphinx, we have tunnels, we have chambers, we have many things like this. So we made 30 drills for 30 meters deep to investigate if there is something beneath the Sphinx. There's a tunnels or a chambers. Guess what? We didn't find anything, just a lake of underground water, a lake of subsoil water. So nothing there. So if you have a theory or a new information, you have to give the evidence for your theory.
Of course.
And we are open. And
he is very open. I mean, look, we don't agree on everything, right? That's kind of the point. But he is very open, and he's, at least for me, I've been having a very good relationship with the Egyptology groups, and even the other people inside the Ministry of Antiquities, and very open, and they listen. And so that I very much commend. But they're also scientists, and they want to see evidence as well, of course. Yes. But very open, and they're not trying to just block everything. So that belief that the people have around the world, I think, is not correct.
We are so open. You know why? Because all these monuments, temples, pyramids, only 30% of our monuments and artifacts. It means 70% is still uncovered yet. So there is many things to uncover in the future. I will be busy in the future.
Yeah, I mean, look, and he's proved it too, because to be honest, they found that there was something underneath their office, and I used to visit him at that office. Now they've excavated that office. They'd demolished the office just to get underneath it to find what they found. So they're very open about this, and so I think that's something that can change the perception as well, because I've not had that experience. My experience has been very good. We enjoy a very good friendship, even though sometimes it doesn't always work out perfectly, right? Because sometimes, like one time I had a mistake with one guy, I had to get out of jail. But but it was not my fault, but yeah, it was stupid. But I can tell you that they've been very, very good to work with, and I really enjoy my relationship and friendship with you, Ashraf, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome. So, and anything about Khafra, we're going to work in the future with the scan pyramid to see if there is something beneath Khafra or not. Scan pyramid guys, they are working in the 3 pyramids, Khufu, Khafra, Menkaura. So they worked in Menkaura, and they found new discoveries in Menkaura. They found a new hidden chamber. to the eastern side of Menkaura. So we're going to announce big discovery soon about Menkaura there. So we're going to focus next time about the work in Khafra to see if there is something beneath Khafra or not.
Now, how many pyramids did you say there are? 124 or is it 126?
124 until now.
Until now.
Until now, because every day we have a new discovery. So until now, 124, not 26. Until we will prove if there is the fourth and the fifth pyramids there or not. So we have to do excavations first to see if there is a fourth and the fifth pyramid at Giza Plateau or not yet.
And you guys went there today, right? Yes. What do you think?
I trust what I see.
How many saw blocks?
There's some blocks. I think that niche was really curious. I think that wasn't the lines of blocks were very fascinating. But the niche, like you're saying, how they locked
The notch. Oh, the notch of the two blocks, how they notched together.
We called it keystone.
Keystone.
Keystone. If you want to join the blocks together, it's a keystone, you know. So anyway, we agreed that I will lock for this, structures, and I will try to do excavations, and we will see if those are pyramids or not. This something will make you to come again and again.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of people too. Thank you so much, Ashraf, for being here with us. You're such a gentleman, and happy birthday.
You too.
Happy birthday, my friend. It's it's a great day, and thanks so much.
And don't ever forget my slogan. If you can build a pyramid, you can do
anything.
No, you can do
anything.
You can do
anything.
Anything. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, my friend. We'll see you soon. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.